Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, a fire broke out this morning in Letcher County, shutting down a major highway for a time. Now, while nobody was hurt, several families are now homeless. WYMT's Will Puckett has more from the scene.
Fire crews were called out to this, what used to be an apartment complex, completely on fire Monday morning in Letcher County. Crews say the first fire department on scene, the Letcher Fire Department, was dispatched out at 2:57. When they arrived, flames were billowing from this apartment complex. Crews say four families lived in the 8-unit complex. Officials say while shaken, all families are safe and only the loss of a dog resulted from this fire. It took 4 separate fire departments to put it out, but the cooperation between the 4 was key.
We saw that we couldn't handle it by ourselves. We had this Sandvik dispatch to help, and then when they got on the scene, we still had to have a tanker from the May-King Fire Department and a tanker from the Whitesburg Fire Department. We had an extremely large fire for a while up there this morning.
One of the families told firefighters who arrived that this fire originated from a stove. The Red Cross has been called in to help. All families have a place to lay their head tonight. In Letcher County, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
25 firefighters pitched in to help battle the blaze. First responders also want to remind everyone to use caution when fire crews are battling fires.
And after a soggy weekend, that sunshine finally returned today. We're a little bit cooler out there, but definitely comfortable outside. You'll notice as we take a look at a few of those cameras over in the Mountain Parkway in Powell County, you're seeing those beautiful blue skies there. Dry conditions over into Whitesburg as well. Not a cloud in the sky, just those beautiful blue skies throughout the day. We haven't had to deal with really any clouds today. We've been dry today. Haven't seen those clouds moving into the area. Maybe a few earlier this morning, but those cut out of here pretty quickly. Now, like I said, temperatures a little bit cooler, but not too bad. We're seeing those low, maybe some spots into those mid 70s. So feeling very much like spring outside. And of course, we'll see those warmer temperatures return as we head into the next couple of days. So throughout the rest of those evening hours, we'll remain into those lower 70s. By the time we get to right around dinner, we'll drop down into about those upper 60s to lower 60s by the time we get into the later evening hours with a few clouds in the sky. But overall, looking like a very calm and nice evening ahead. And good news is that really continues into tomorrow along with those warmer temperatures. Now, of course, showers and storms are going to return. They are back in the 7-day forecast. We'll talk about that and more coming up in just a little bit. Steve.
All right. Thank you, Paige. Law enforcement in Knox County are looking for the man who robbed a gas station at gunpoint early this morning. But instead of a ski mask or bandana to hide his face, the man used something a little unusual to conceal his identity. Now police are asking for the public's help in finding him. WYMT's Connor James has more.
It all happened here at Wildcat Market at about 3:30 this morning. The man was about 6 foot, but they couldn't really get a good description of him because he was wearing a ghillie suit. Surveillance video captured this picture of the man carrying a black handgun into the store and taking an unknown amount of cash. Now, that surveillance camera was also able to get decent video of the car he was driving. Officials with the Knox County Sheriff's Department say they believe it's a 2012 Jeep Liberty with one of the back brake lights out. People in the area say they're upset to see this happen at one of their local hangouts.
Why people want to do crazy stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they get themselves caught up in stuff that's crazy, you know, and I said, that's stupid.
And deputies are asking that if anyone has any information at this time to just give the Knox County Sheriff's Department a call. I'm in Knox County, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
The Knox County Sheriff's Department is investigating the robbery. If you have any information, you're urged to call them at 1-606-546-3181. We'll have much more on this coming up at 6 o'clock. The U.S. is positioning the military in the Middle East as a deterrent to threats against Americans in the region, including U.S. troops in Iraq. The USS Lincoln Aircraft Carrier Group and a bomber task force are heading to the Middle East. U.S. intelligence picked up warnings that Iran is making plans to possibly attack Americans both at sea and on land, including U.S. troops in Iraq. National Security Advisor John Bolton says the move is meant to send a clear message to the Iranian regime that any attack on U.S. interests or its allies will be met with unrelenting force.
Iran is a rogue regime. It has been a threat throughout the Middle East.
President Trump withdrew the U.S. from a nuclear treaty with Iran. Just last month, the U.S. declared Iran's Revolutionary Guard a terrorist organization. And last week, it imposed oil sanctions meant to shut off all Iranian oil exports. The Iranian foreign minister accuses Bolton of warmongering. He also says escalating tensions could lead to an accident. President Trump seems to have changed his mind about whether special counsel Robert Mueller should appear before Congress to testify about his report on the Russia investigation. This morning, the president fired off a series of tweets attacking Democrats who want Mueller to appear before Congress. But Friday, the president seemed to support Mueller's appearance.
I don't know. That's up to our Attorney General, who I think has done a fantastic job.
The president is also fighting Congress over the release of his taxes. The Treasury Secretary is expected to decide sometime today if the request to turn over the president's taxes is lawful. President Trump's former attorney Michael Cohen arrived at federal prison today. He'll be serving a 3-year sentence for lying to Congress, campaign finance violations, and hush money payments made on behalf of the president. Cohen pleaded guilty late last year to the charges. Before heading into the prison, Cohen had this to say.
I rejoin my family and friends that the country will be in a place without xenophobia, injustice, and lies at the helm of our country. There still remains much to be told, and I look forward to the day that I can share the truth. And thank you all very much.
Cohen had a 2 p.m. deadline to report to the Federal Correctional Institution in Otisville, New York. Investigators in Russia are examining the black boxes pulled from the wreckage of a jet that landed in flames on a Moscow runway. Aeroflot Flight 1492 took off from one of Moscow's main airports early yesterday evening, bound for a northern Russian port city. Shortly after takeoff, the airport says the plane circled back for unspecified technical reasons before it made an emergency landing. Russian media reports the plane did not have time to dump its fuel before hitting the tarmac, which former National Transportation Safety Board member John Golia says may have sparked the fire.
So they may have overloaded it because the airplane was overloaded and may have broken the wing and spread all this fuel out. And with hot brakes and hot engines, ignition is very possible.
This is the second deadly plane crash involving that aircraft. In 2012, 45 people were killed in Indonesia. The crash killed 41 of the 78 people on board in this most recent one. Congressman Hal Rogers and Governor Matt Bevin came to the London Corbin Airport for an announcement that could have a significant impact on jobs in the region. The governor and congressman, along with the Appalachian Regional Commission federal co-chair Tim Thomas and Eastern Kentucky University President Michael Benson, announced that Eastern Kentucky University and Kentucky Community and Technical Colleges will be offering an aviation maintenance technician program. Officials say this will not only bring more opportunities for students, but will boost the local economy and will utilize resources they already have.
If they're going to fly, they have to have mechanics. And so that's what's going to happen here, and our people will be right on the ground floor, and we're so proud that they chose us for one of these schools.
During his speech, Governor Bevin said it is projected that by 2020 there will be a need for 118,000 people with AMT certifications. They also made other stops across the region today. We'll have more on the hazard stop at 6. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Monday afternoon. The Dow closes down today more than 66 points. Abortion will essentially become illegal in Georgia soon. Conservative Governor Brian Kemp is expected to sign a so-called heartbeat bill tomorrow. It would ban abortions if a fetal heartbeat can be detected. That can happen as early as 6 weeks, which is before many women even know they are pregnant. There are a few exceptions allowed. The ACLU says it is preparing a court challenge to the measure. There is celebration across Britain as Prince Harry's wife, Meghan Markle, gave birth to the nation's newest royal baby. The couple have a healthy baby boy. The boy weighed 7 pounds, 3 ounces and is 7th in line to the throne. The royal couple has not picked a name yet. Straight ahead on First at 4, there are big changes coming to CBS News. Find out who will be switching roles just ahead.
And sunshine continues for now, but when will those rain chances return? I'll have those details in just a few short minutes.